It begins with the wrong kind of silence. 2 bassinets glow under the nursery's blue light. Blankets still warm, tags still clipped, but the babies are gone. Security rewinds the footage. 3:58 a.m. A gray hoodie in the elevator, a cooler bag hugged tight. Beside her, a man turns his face away from the lens and taps a phone. The doors close. By sunrise, an Amber Alert is live, and a new mother says a sentence that freezes even veteran detectives. I sold them. This is CrimePulse Files, where we don't blink when the truth is uglier than the rumor. Marissa Cole is 23, a diner server who saves tips in a jelly jar and sticks baby names on the fridge. Twins on the way. A thrift store crib repainted yellow. On Instagram, it's hearts and hope. Off camera, there's Dante Rios, 28, charming and loud, with debts that knock on doors. He calls the men creditors. Like there are invoices. There aren't. There are warnings. By month 8, bills multiply, appointments get missed, and Dante starts guarding a second phone like it's oxygen. Later, detectives will read the search history and fall quiet. Private adoption fast, consent form hospital, how much for newborn twins, and the phrase that tells you everything, no questions asked. A new contact appears in Dante's encrypted chats. A feather icon. On the screen, it looks harmless. Off the screen, it's a pipeline. Labor hits on a Monday. Fluorescent kindness, not enough hands. The twins arrive small and perfect, ankle tags that chirp if they pass a door. For a few minutes, it's skin and breath and relief. Dante leans in close. This is the only way we keep them safe. At 3:51 a.m., an ankle alarm blips, then goes quiet. A staff login opens the nursery door, even though the nurse's badge is still charging at the desk. At 3:58, the elevator camera catches the gray hoodie, the cooler bag, a fake ID lanyard glinting from the collar. For 02, a rideshare stops at the loading dock for under a minute. A phone with the feather icon pings. Done. A wire confirmation screenshot flashes back. By the time a nurse says, "Where are?" the irreversible has already happened. Detective Isabel Chan takes the case. She's worked outfits that turn babies into inventory and paperwork into camouflage. She starts with the phones. Dante's second line pings a riverfront warehouse at 4:19 a.m., then goes dark. The feather chats route through an encrypted app, but the metadata leaks just enough. A co-working IP registered to Mallory Family Services. Next, the paper. In Marissa's purse, a pre-notarized consent copy dated 2 days before birth. The notary seal is a hair off. The signature wanders like someone signed through a fog. A blood draw shows a sedative Marissa doesn't remember being offered. "I thought it was for pain," she whispers. "He said it was love." The anklet tamper tells the rest. A cloned badge. Plastic printed yesterday. Someone with a counterfeit smile and a counterfeit swipe walked into a real nursery and picked up 2 real children while security handled a disturbance on the far wing. This isn't a parking lot handoff. It's a system. Chan knocks on the door of Ruth Mallory. Blazer perfect, website friendly. The mission statement says, connecting families and easing burdens. The ledger says donations and relocation support. The emails say move fast. Twins command premiums. Babies become numbers that make spreadsheets smile. Twist 1. There isn't a true debt collector at the end of Dante's story. The money from the feather icon flows to his crypto wallet, then into a cashier's check. First purchase, a watch he's wanted for years. Second, a down payment on a used car. Ask him why. He says he did what he had to. It sounds like a script he practiced in a mirror. Twist 2. The buyers are not monsters in alleys. They're an out-of-state couple with a cloud-painted nursery, told the mother freely consented. They wire living expenses, take classes, and cry over bottles at dawn, believing they're saving 2 lives. Day 2, officers knock. 3 hearts break in that room. The twins are safe, warm, fed. But the foundation is forgery, so the law takes the babies and the couple becomes witnesses. The house keeps the cribs. Ruth says she doesn't know anything about badges or sedatives. Her office wall says otherwise. Chan puts the forged seal, the rideshare timestamp, the IP trail, and the wire confirmations on the same board. Lines connect, denials crack. And Marissa? In the interview room, her voice doesn't shatter, it deflates. She explains the pitch Dante made: private adoption, waiting family. If you love them, don't fight this. She remembers a pill, a clipboard, and the way fear dressed itself in the clothes of love. She signed where he pointed. She believed a lie because it promised safety. The charges shake out the way they do when money calls itself mercy. Dante takes a plea: trafficking, conspiracy, fraud. 25 years. His last look toward camera is annoyed, like someone spoiled the ending he wanted. Ruth goes to trial. The euphemisms peel off. 10 years. Assets seized. Services dissolved. The site goes dark. The sign comes down. The hospital seals the loopholes. You can't clone your way into the nursery anymore. Nurses who did everything right still cry in their cars. Marissa returns to an apartment where quiet is loud. 2 names on a sticky note. A corner where a stroller should be. The internet votes on what she is. None of those votes change what she has to live with. The twins? The system moves, for once, faster than despair. Temporary custody. Evaluations. People with clipboards who actually care. It isn't a ribbon-tied ending. It is safety for now. The DA looks at Marissa's part and sees what online strangers won't. Sedatives, forgeries, texts that turn love into leverage. She's sentenced to time served and a long list of conditions: therapy, supervision, the slow, unglamorous work of rebuilding a life. If you're searching for a clean moral in a story like this, you won't find it. You'll find 2 truths sitting next to each other: what she did and what was done to her. You'll find a man who called greed survival and a woman who called profit help. You'll find a couple who believed a sales pitch because their hope was louder than their doubt. The last image isn't the elevator or the wire alert. It's a social worker adjusting a blanket while 2 infants sleep, the room washed in soft morning light. Somewhere else, a woman is starting the long walk back to herself. In a cell, a man rehearses excuses no one buys. In another, a facilitator runs out of paperwork to hide behind. When love and fear use the same words, how do you tell them apart? Would you have heard the warning signs? Or just the promise? You're watching CrimePulse Files. If this case made you look twice at no questions asked, tell me where the story turned for you. Subscribe if you want more truth without the sugar. And as always, stay sharp, stay kind, and keep your eyes open.